Welcome back to Unbiased and Unbossed. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, and share the video. That would help out the channel a lot. So I'm a follower of Traitors TV, and he recently uploaded this video about a black man who was calling out black women for being homophobic. I decided to go and watch the entire video myself, and it left me a bit triggered, and it reminded me that black women are shamed and guilted into giving up our bodies for men who don't love us, who actually quite hate us and disrespect us. I'm going to let y'all see the video, and then I'm going to come back with the stats and give my unfiltered opinion.
No, that's not me. I got to stop allowing to call me gay, because as soon as I try to holler at a female, all of a sudden it's, oh, I thought you was gay. And I'm like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? So, which, by the way, I will tell one experience, my most recent experience, trying to holler at a female. And this is the reason why a lot of bisexual black men are forced into either messing with only guys or only girls, because a lot of guys, let me tell y'all, a lot of reason why DL guys exist is because of y'all. Okay, y'all want to be upset at DL guys, and y'all want to have this issue about they should just come out and all that other shit. Y'all the main reason why they DL. Let me tell you, black women are some of the most homophobic. Okay, I have tried, and I may have to give you an example. I've tried hella females, and that's another reason why a lot of DL guys, they're not gonna come out, because it's the type of female. Like, even though they know that like they fine and shit, like they can get still, it's the type of female. See, all guys don't want a female who's very, most of the time, okay, I'm gonna just be honest. In my experience as a bisexual man, you either get those real freaky ass females that's just into everything and anything, and they're kind of slutty and kind of like, they're a turn off, you know. Like, I don't want that. Everybody doesn't want that. Some guys that are bisexual, they really just want that wholesome chick, like that's just cool, going about her. She take care of her business, she go to work, take care of her kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of shit that some niggas want, but they not, you know, these are the type of females that are usually very fucking homophobic, you know what I'm saying? So, I'll give an example. Not too long ago, I was at this club. It was actually a gay club, yeah, but it was like a lesbian gay club. And I'm in there with my aunt and her girlfriend. And well, my aunt's the same age as me, so we like brother and sister, but it's her girlfriend, and we at the club, and basically they wanted me to participate in one of their little segments where they did a little performance, asked me to sit in that spot. It wasn't really nothing, I just had to sit there and get a lap dance. Well, the girl was bad, okay? Like, when I tell you, like, she was just my type. Like, she was like petite, light skin, like nice little pretty hair and all that. Like, it was just like, she was just bad to me. Like, nice little swim face, all that. And like, she was, you know, dancing on me and shit. I'm just like, I'm feeling that. I didn't know if I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, I was feeling her, you know what I'm saying? So I tried to, like, you know what I'm saying, you know, try to get her attention or whatever. And I could tell that she classified me as a gay dude because of the way she was handling me, you know what I'm saying? But then I was like, all right, well, let me just see, like, let me have my auntie, like, holler at her real quick, because that's her friend, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey, like, what's up with a girl? Like, what's her name? Like, can you, like, you know, give her, like, see if she'll let me get her number, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, yeah, definitely, I'm about to go over here and see, like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, she geek, because, you know, of course, all the females in the family, they want to see me with a girl anyway, you know? So it's like, because I used to date girls only, which I'll get into that, all right? Into my transition and everything. So, but back to the story. I had my auntie holler at her, and the girl was like, no, I thought he was gay or whatever. Like, I wasn't there, but that's when my auntie came back and told me she was like, basically, no, she thought that you were gay, type shit. Like, it didn't have anything to do with my looks or anything. It was just like, I know that me and this girl would look good together, like, we would have a pretty ass baby and everything. I'm just like, damn, like, man, what the fuck? Like, and I'm like, man, you know what? And she was like, she told her that I was bi, but because she knows that I mess around with guys, and she's bisexual herself, but because she knows that I mess around with guys, she don't want to give me no shot. I'm like, wait a minute, how the fuck you gonna judge me for being bisexual, but your ass is bisexual too? Double standard. All right. So this is why I'm making this video. Black women, y'all are the most homophobic. That's the reason why y'all niggas is lying to y'all. These niggas coming back giving y'all shit. I'm not saying that it's right, but this is the reason, one of the main reasons why. If y'all allowed y'all's men to be fluid with y'all wouldn't have that problem. No, I'm trying to tell you, a man that feels comfortable with you ain't going nowhere. All right. When you make a nigga feel like he got to be a certain way for you, he's gonna do what he gonna do behind closed doors. Okay. So I'm just saying this because I do know a few females, like I know that this is coming up where there's more females being open to it, but that is the main reason why bisexual black men are so DL or so out. It's like one or the other. Y'all put us in one or the other boxes, and that has been one of the biggest challenges for a black man that's bisexual in this world. So the next time that you blaming and DL shaming, understand that black women, y'all play a part in this because y'all want y'all's hairdressers to be gay. Y'all be cool with y'all's friends to be gay. But as soon as your son gay, it's a problem. That is homophobic, and a lot of people need y'all women, y'all need to understand this. If you have a problem with anybody that you love being gay, but it could be anybody else that's gay that you fine with, that is homophobic. Period. It is. All right. So that's the reason why y'all's men is not gonna tell y'all shit, because they know that you full of shit. Y'all only like that shit and it's cool with other people, but y'all would not with a nigga that a dude before. But y'all got this whole feminine thing, feminism thing, feminist thing going on, but y'all want to be homophobic and shit. Come on now, let's fix it. All right. So yeah.
You know, it's the victim blaming and positioning black bisexual men as victims for me. I'm going to get into my opinion on that at the end. However, let's get into this WebMD article that states the facts surrounding HIV within the black community. This article was written in April of 2022, titled HIV and AIDS Among Black Americans. It states HIV has more negative effects for Black Americans than for any other racial and ethnic groups in the United States. Though Black people make up just 12% of the U.S. population, they accounted for 43% of all HIV cases in 2019. Black women, in particular, were 14 times more likely to be diagnosed with HIV than white women and 5 times more than likely than Hispanic women, according to a 2018 CDC report. And Black Americans who get HIV are more likely to die from it than members of other groups. Why are the numbers so high? The article goes on to state 4 reasons why Black Americans have a higher rate in HIV. The first 2 are access to education and healthcare. The last 2 are distrust and fear. Under distrust and fear, the last paragraph states, stigma around homosexuality may also silence men who have sex with men. Black men on the down low have sex with men but may not tell their women sex partners. So how does HIV spread among Black Americans? Unprotected sex. Most Black American men and women get HIV when they don't use a condom or other protection when they have sex with a man. It's less likely for a Black man to get HIV from a woman, and it's more likely for a Black man than a white man to get HIV by having sex with men. The article concludes by stating to avoid HIV infections, practice safe sex. So Black women are getting STD/HIV from Black men who do not disclose their sexual orientation or who are not honest about the fact that they are bisexual. I think a lot of Black women know that Black men have unprotected sex, and when bisexual men engage in sex, they typically don't use a condom. And so instead of just saying that, oh, Black women err on the side of caution when it comes to dating bisexual men, he's labeling Black women as homophobic. And that's problematic because, one, you're shaming and guilting Black women into behavior that may not be healthy for them. We can see from the statistics and the facts that Black women who typically date bisexual men are walking away with HIV and AIDS. 43% is damn near 50%. So that's every other Black woman that interacts with a bisexual man. It's unfair to shame and guilt Black women into going against their better judgment so that you can have access to Black women's bodies. I've come to the conclusion that most Black men, regardless of sexual orientation and having a close-knit family of female friends, are still misogynistic and disrespectful towards Black women. He stated Black women are homophobic for not allowing Black men to be fluid, and this is why they're on the DL. However, he acknowledged there are Black women who still will date bisexual men, but those are typically the slutty ones, and he wants the wholesome ones. Basically, he can't get the women he wants, so he publicly shames, guilts, and lies to Black women who would otherwise say no to his sexual advances. Your sexual orientation does not grant you access to everyone. He knows this considering the misogynistic statement he made about slutty women. He then told a story about how he wanted a light-skinned girl with curly hair, which was either a biracial woman or a non-Black woman, yet his commentary is how Black women are homophobic. Once again, putting blame and shame on Black women. The only part I somewhat agreed on is the Black women who have Black gay friends and hairstylists, etc., but don't like having a gay son, may be homophobic. There may be some truth to that, but I haven't personally seen it myself. Overall, I think this video highlights the dangerous predatory behavior in our community, particularly from Black men. You are not homophobic or racist for deciding to not have sex with someone from a different race or someone who has a different sexual orientation. Don't allow anyone to shame or guilt you into behavior that could be detrimental to your health. Anyone that engages in sexual activities without your knowledge while you are in a committed relationship has violated your consent and is predatory. Stay healthy, ladies. Until next time.
I really have something that it's a big topic of mine. I talk about it through my Instagram and my Facebook, and I didn't want to put it on YouTube until I felt really confident with all the data I have. And there will be more formal data coming out as I'm doing a survey in regards to this topic. But my topic is female transmission. And from what I've seen over the last 2 years, there's a pattern. And it's not talked about. And I think it's not talked about because it puts a lot of shame on bisexuality of men. So as a result, women are blamed for transmissions of HIV. Okay, let me tell you some facts that I know about female transmission. First of all, I did not give it to my partner, Eric, after 1 year of him being exposed to me, 1 entire year. So if HIV is so easily transmitted from women to men, why after 1 year did I not give it to Eric? You know, people say that that's luck. It's not luck. I have over 160 women on my private page, and more than 100 of them, I believe, can attest to the same story as mine. Some as long as 18 years of marriage. And they know who they got it from after. Well, actually, they knew they were HIV positive. There was no treatment at the time. So their husband was exposed to them while they had no antiretrovirals. Many of them had very high viral loads, including myself, and still did not transmit. Women who didn't know they had it, their husband was exposed to them for 10 years. Then they realized who they got it from because they found out. And so that was another man exposed to a woman for 10 years. No transmission. I recently had a woman that came to me 7 years, no transmission. I have many women who have experienced exactly what I have. They get diagnosed, they're with a partner. These partners are not getting HIV from these women. And it's not luck, it's anatomy, okay? You have to think about what a penis is. It's almost like a foot or an arm. It's not a vagina, and it's not an anal opening. Anuses tear. It's very delicate skin, and that's how the virus gets in, okay, for the most part. Vaginas are easily torn. Women get everything, unfortunately. It's just the way we're built. But a penis, it's skin. You can't put HIV through skin. You know, you could wipe HIV all over my arm, blood, everything. It's not going to get into my skin. It has to go through an open mucous membrane. Penises don't have this. And they say, oh, what about the urethra? It can go up the urethra. Okay, think about physics. And first of all, vaginal secretions, the viral amount in vaginal secretions is very, very, very low as it is. It's not like blood and it's not like semen. So as it is, it's already low anyways. And so then how is it going to climb up? Think of physics wise. How is anything going to go up a urethra? And first of all, semen's going to come out of that anyways, and it's going to kill anything if there was HIV even surrounding it. I mean, how many women are running around with HIV? This is not that common. These women it's not like herpes. They're not all, you can't find one on every corner. I don't know anybody. I only know the women in my group. It's not like I've got, my aunt had HIV and no, nobody has it. I'm like very uncommon. It's very uncommon for women to have HIV in general. So for a man to come across a woman who has HIV is already incredibly uncommon. Okay, then they would also have to be virally unsuppressed. So this means that the woman didn't know they had it. And they say that 1 out of 7 people don't know they have it. So that means the other 7 do know they have it, which means more than likely they're being virally suppressed. And we already know that if you're virally suppressed, you can't transmit it anyways. That's for men, I feel. But for women, I don't feel like we're transmitting it regardless of viral suppression or not. That's how I feel. That's what I see. So what I do find, and there's so many little facets to all of this that just all adds up to the same thing that women are not transmitting, okay? I go to these conferences, and I've talked about this on my Instagram story and my Facebook. And, I've been to 3 so far, 2 USCAs and 1 in Amsterdam. And, the general public doesn't go to these conferences. You don't go unless you have HIV. So who do I see at these conferences? I see probably 80% gay men, very obviously gay men, okay? And then I see women of color, and there's a few women like me. I'm the minority for sure. If there's any men there that are hetero, from what I've seen, they were born with it. I haven't seen any even drug users, that have it. And that's obviously another possibility. If women are giving HIV to men, if really truly are giving it to them, and then the what I always hear from the few men that contact me that are HIV positive who say they're hetero and got it from a woman, they either say, I have no idea who I got it from, or they say, I must have gotten it from a sex worker. Okay, so they're talking about a one-time ordeal that they must have gotten it from a sex worker. Yet I was with somebody for a year who didn't get it from me, and all these other women who didn't give it to their partners. Even the CDC says, and I don't know where they get this calculation from, but they say 1 out of 2,500 exposures to a woman that you have a risk of getting HIV, or 4 out of 10,000. And even that in itself is like ridiculously low. It's 0.0004%. So you have to even look at that, what they say. I think it's even less than that, but they even say it's ridiculously low. So for all these men that want to say that they got it from women, think about this. Think about these conferences and who they're made up of. Where are they? Why aren't these conferences listing them on their flyers? Why aren't they listing them in a session? Why isn't there a session for them? Why are they not spoken about? There is nothing said about HIV positive men who are heterosexual. Nothing. It's not brought up. I think the only way it comes up is in small circles of women. They might talk about it quietly. But here's the thing. I have 160 women on my private page now, and I can confirm without a doubt that probably 80% of them have been through an experience like myself where they exposed somebody unknowingly and did not transmit it. Another thing, there is no doctor who sees 160 HIV positive women. I feel like I have access to information that no one else has seen. And I also have a platform now with YouTube to talk about this information and hopefully educate people, educate women so that they can look for signs and not be at risk. Many of the women who contracted HIV got it from men that they trusted, that they were married to, that they didn't know these men were out having sex with other men. So that's how far people will go to keep the secret. And it's really easy just to blame women, for sure. It's like, oh, it was just a prostitute, just a sex worker. It was, sorry, but that's what they say, prostitute, whore. That's what I always hear. And I'm like, excuse me, it's sex worker. And I don't believe it. I really don't believe it, because how could these women that I know have gone so long and never transmitted? It does not add up at all. Say, oh, but in Africa, it's like, it's a heterosexual problem and it's 50% male and 50% female. Okay, also in Africa, there's not one study about male to male sex, not one. And it's illegal to be gay in Africa. You could actually be killed. So you have to think about those two factors as well. So when you add all these things up, it all adds up to the same thing to me, that women are not transmitting this virus. Think about the anatomy, think about these conferences I go to, think about all the women I know that haven't transmitted, think about Africa and that it's illegal to be gay. I even just read, some man wrote to me today and said he's from the Middle East, and in the Middle East, women and men aren't allowed to like really be together and hang out, so the men choose to have sex with men. Men were put here on this planet to reproduce. That is their number one goal. They got to get that job done. And yes, they want to have sex. That's okay. I don't care who they're having sex with, but don't blame it on a woman or women in general, because we are being victimized as an HIV positive part of this community, and we are being criminalized unnecessarily when we are not transmitting this virus. I really believe it, with all my heart, with everything that I've seen, that women are not transmitting this, and nobody wants to talk about it. And I'm fed up with what I see, and I'm not going to shut up about it. And the evidence has been in front of my face for the last 2 years, over and over and over again. So again, this is not to put down bisexual men. This is not to put down gay men. This is only to protect women. I just can't be quiet about this anymore. I will continue to put out more information about this and what I know about it, and I hope that it wakes some people up. We need to think about more about the men that are giving HIV to women, and they are not hetero men getting it from other women. I truly believe that. If it's happened, because there's some people that would go to their grave and say that their husband got it from another woman, then maybe there is an incredibly small percentage that it can happen to. But it is so small and finite that it's not worth the stigma that we're getting. And not only that, if you look at any of the charts that talk about heterosexual, like of who is contracting HIV, they don't even have a pie piece chart for heterosexual men. That's how uncommon it is, or that's because the CDC doesn't want to even recognize it and say anything about it. They just say heterosexuals. They don't say anything about heterosexual men. They tried to collect data that I can, and I can't find it. So because it doesn't exist. Okay, so I'm finishing this off with my glasses. I feel more comfortable with them on. I know what I know, and you either believe it or you don't. So take it or leave it. But it's really time for people to wake up about this, because we are not transmitting this virus.